details. Eva, I know you just got there. What can you tell us?
Rob, aside from some Capitol police patrolling the outside here of the state Capitol building, it's quiet out here. All the action is taking place inside the building where they're trying to locate this alleged bomb. Now, I'm told that around 4:15, 4:30 today, someone called state police saying there's a bomb inside of this building, the state Capitol building. Then they called back saying they would detonate that bomb in 2 hours. Again, a very credible threat, I'm being told. Now, the building has been cleared. Everybody has been told to leave. All the entrances are closed. I'm also told that the buildings surrounding the state Capitol area, they're not affected as of right now. What's going on right now inside of the building is that police and canines are sweeping it, again, looking for that bomb, and I'm told that process could take, the alleged bomb rather, and I'm told that process could take anywhere from 2 to 3 hours. For now, we are live with the Dauphin County Mobile Newsroom in Harrisburg. Eva Roman, CBS 21 News.
CBS 21's Eva Roman was first on the scene. She's live now at the Dauphin County Mobile Newsroom in Harrisburg. And Eva, what's happening there right now?
Rob, police have left the scene. They used a robot to get inside the building and get that chemical out of there. And then around 9:30 or so, you could hear a loud boom. You could definitely feel it. It was louder than a firework as they buried the chemical, then blew it up at a field nearby this area off Cameron Street. Now, earlier today, while doing some inventory, an employee found a 1-pound container of a chemical called picric acid on a shelf in a plant lab inside the agriculture building. It looked like it had been left there for quite some time after being used to test some plants. It's not highly explosive when in water. However, the chemical was found dry, crystallized.
Since the chemical has crystallized, we called DGS and the Department of General Services, and we told them we had this chemical. They told us to evacuate the building. We did so at 4:45.
And everything wrapped up here safely, no injuries reported. For now, we're live with the Dauphin County Mobile Newsroom in Harrisburg. Eva Roman, CBS 21 News.
Dauphin County Mobile Newsroom with Eva Roman. And Eva, what can you tell us?
Well, Rob, it's a very active scene out here right now. Let me show you. Firefighters are trying to get the SUV out, but not only that, they're trying to get the 3 dogs that are inside. I believe they're German Shepherds inside of that SUV out. I'm told that the woman who was driving the SUV, she was taken to a local hospital, but it looks like she wasn't hurt too badly. And emergency crews were called out here to the 1200 block of Boiling Springs Road in Monroe Township, Cumberland County, around 8:15 tonight. The deputy fire chief tells me he's not sure yet what caused the crash. The driver, again, a woman, was taken to a local hospital. Again, it looks like she wasn't hurt too badly. There was a man inside of the home, but he's okay tonight. He was not hurt. Again, there are 3 dogs inside of that SUV, and they have called in some animal experts to take them out. Take a look as they're bringing out that cage right now. Everybody seems to be okay. It appears that this scene looks a lot worse than it really is. For now, we are live with the Cumberland County Mobile Newsroom in Monroe Township tonight. Eva Roman, CBS 21 News.
We begin with breaking news in the Jerry Sandusky child sex scandal tonight. 2 big headlines developing right now.
That's right. And Eva Sandusky's attorney really is filing everything from A to Z in this motion, and you just talked to him.
That's right. Amendola tells me that one of the many reasons he wants this case dismissed is because he says 7 out of the 10 accused victims' charges lack specific. There are no dates, no times, no locations. And you guys, that's only a small part of this 251-page motion to dismiss filed by Amendola and his team today. Amendola tells me that the law says if the Commonwealth doesn't give the defense enough evidence to prepare, the judge can dismiss the charges. The other part of the pretrial motion asks the court to throw out 3 other sets of charges from accusers 2, 6, and 8. Those cases, he says, do have specific time frames and places, but he feels the evidence is insufficient to go to a jury. Now, the motion to dismiss also says the Commonwealth cannot sustain these charges at the trial simply based upon the testimony of Mike McQueary. His testimony at the preliminary hearings did not establish sufficient evidence to support these charges. Sandusky's lawyers also want the judge to review the statute of limitations in this case. In addition to that,
Amendola is asking for a continuance, saying the discovery just keeps coming in and he doesn't see this trial starting in mid-May as first scheduled. Now, another request by Amendola is when the jury is selected, he tells me he wants them to go into the judge's chambers one by one to be questioned instead of questioned in a group. And then once the jury is chosen, he wants that jury sequestered during the trial. For now, we're live with the Dauphin County Mobile Newsroom in Harrisburg tonight. Eva Roman, CBS 21 News. Right now, the Susquehanna River level is at 4 feet. Engineers in the city say they expect about 10 inches of rain to fall by Sunday night. That means they don't expect it to hit above flood stage, which is 17 feet. This lawyer isn't alone. Tribex says in the past 5 days, he's received calls from about 50 lawyers from around the world, all who want to get in on this. And you can learn a lot on YouTube, like how to fold a week's worth of clothing for your vacation and bring it onto a carry-on. But that's not the only thing. You can also learn how to change your oil. Christina, among the chaos, confusion, and panic, this mom stayed calm. It was perhaps her quick decision to move her SUV that saved everyone's life. Carrie Lynn Troop was at a ballpark off London Vale Road in Paradise Township with her 11-year-old son Tyler, who was there to play in a game, and 2 of her other kids. Around 8 or so Friday night, the rain and wind came fast and hit hard. Everyone moved under the pavilion. That's when Carrie Lynn moved her SUV closer. Suddenly, the pavilion came crashing down.
There was a lot of panicking. There was a lot of, the kids were scared. I mean, it was, my son was hysterical. It was heartbreaking to watch them go through it, to hear them screaming and to hear all these people like they didn't know what to do.
Kids and parents were trapped underneath. The pavilion also landed on Carrie Lynn's SUV with her 2 kids inside.
I didn't know which way to go. I mean, I had 1 kid that was underneath the pavilion and 2 that were in the truck that it just fell on.
Her kids were okay. Fire crews rescued the others. Some went to the hospital, others walked away from the scene. Police said there were minor injuries. Carrie Lynn's quick decision to move her SUV kept the pavilion from crashing down even more.
The corner of the pavilion actually went through the passenger side windshield of the car while they were in it. I saw they were okay, so I went around to find Tyler and trying to find between all the debris and all the people, and it was pitch black. I finally found my son, grabbed him up, and took him to the car.
And just when she thought things couldn't get any worse, Carrie Lynn got home and saw that half of her roof was gone. Her fence torn apart and trees all over the place.
Right now, we're just hoping that there's no further damage and that we can salvage anything.
But they're just things, she says, ones that can be replaced. State police say that first responders were able to pull everyone out of that collapsed pavilion safely. Again, the National Weather Service today confirming that a tornado did hit that area.
To say about these allegations?
One by one, they got out of cop cars and in handcuffs walked in to face the judge. 10 people total charged with spending more than $10 million of taxpayer money on campaign work. CBS 21 News confronted the man who officials are calling the corruption ringleader in all of this, Republican Representative John Purcell.
Do you have anything to say about these allegations of you spending millions of taxpayer dollars?
Look,
Excuse us. Come on, let's go.
this thing's been going on for quite some time. There's hundreds of allegations that have been made. I'm looking for an opportunity to be able to prove my innocence in court.
As he left the courtroom, Purcell had nothing else to add. The others charged include former Republican Representative Brett Fease.
Anything you have to say in your defense?
And 8 aides, who also had no comment. But some of their attorneys say they're innocent and say they'll fight these allegations in court.
He's entered a plea of not guilty.
We expect that Ms. Seaman will be completely vindicated in Dauphin County Court. This case will go to trial. There will be no plea agreements. This case will go to trial, and we will prevail.
It's going to trial, so she's saying she's not guilty.
She is not guilty.
The 10 left court on bail and turned in their passports while they await their next day in front of a judge. Rob and Tanya, this is a very dangerous situation for police. Bath salt use is so new, sometimes it is tough to spot, but police tell me the best way they can describe it is it's like dealing with a crazy person with superhuman strength. with bulletproof vests on. We hop in Corporal Milo Hooper's Harrisburg police SUV and hit the streets. In no time at all, a disorderly conduct call comes in. He hits the lights and speeds to the scene. The longtime member of the Harrisburg police force knows that these days, those kind of calls can mean someone's high on bath salts. The call turns out to be nothing, but it reminds Hooper of a bath salt encounter from not too long ago.
Went out there, the guy was kind of amped up, out of control. The CERT team ended up responding. He just kept walking back and forth, pacing back and forth in the attic, only like a 20 or 30 foot area. And the whole time, for 3 to 4 hours, he just was hooked and he couldn't get off of it. And what he wanted to do was suicide by police. Special
training is what's taught Harrisburg officers how to spot a bath salt user and what to do.
It's pretty much the same signs as someone high on PCP. They're agitated. They seem agitated, like very amped up.
And ready to strike, even at police officers.
You really want me to come out, don't you? All they want to do is get high, but they're not aware of how this is affecting them and their surroundings.
713 glass.
When these officers come up to you and tell you about their stories about people high on bath salts, what's your reaction to all that?
Well, it's just like any story when an officer tells you any experience they have. Your first reaction is to start to evaluate what you're hearing and to use it to your own experiences and try to learn from anything they have done or haven't done.
Ads selling bath salts in the local paper make it tougher for police. Even though the synthetic drug is banned in Pennsylvania, people have found ways to create loopholes and sell them by changing the formula.
All right, 10-4.
On these streets, officers rely on their training and recent increased experiences, hoping each bath salt encounter will be their last.
Thank you.
And police say that people on bath salt, high on bath salt, are out of control and aggressive, so tasers may not always work on them. They say to calm them down, they use things like gas as well as pepper spray because their senses are heightened. Live with the Dauphin County Mobile Newsroom tonight in Harrisburg, Eva Roman, CBS 21 News.